very clean and posh compared to England, but more expensive. But no, a little bit.
We're more expensive than England. I'm surprised about that.
Yeah.
How you liking the food? I know you're a big food
Oh
fan.
yeah, I have a food channel. So this is a blatant push. Everyone get your phones out and go onto YouTube and type in HairyFoodyGuy. And that's a behind the scenes look at my life. I've travelled the world a lot and I've vlogged really about YouTube stuff. So if you're on it right now, we're still in Spain because we're time travellers. And then we're doing London, then you'll see a bit of Vienna, and then we're off on Tuesday to Peru to maybe eat a guinea pig or maybe not, depending on because that, believe it or not, that's their national dish. So yeah, so that's the behind the scenes stupidity of my life, which is fun. I don't do normal things. I don't believe in it. I think it's unhealthy. So, but yeah, we've enjoyed Vienna. We've had some beautiful experiences. We've seen some really wonderful art. We went to Belvedere Palace to kiss in front of the kiss. So I'm sure that hands up was kissed in front of the kiss. One person. Weirdly, it was the person I kissed. Right, so you should all go and kiss in front of the kiss. It's a beautiful painting, and it has the Belvedere Palace is lovely. But yeah, so and I went to McDonald's.
Like here?
Yes.
Did you notice differences?
Yes, they had shrimp on the menu, and I was like, what the hell is this? And I have to have a double cheeseburger in every country I visit, and I'm doing a score of the double cheeseburgers all around the world.
Is it a secret or might we know?
No, Vienna's third at the moment. That's just forward information because that video won't come out for maybe 3 weeks. But yeah, it's third because you're both very keen.
Yeah, so it's the meat to bun ratio.
Yeah, it was out completely. But, and I didn't like it because you had to pay 50 cents just to have a pee. You know, I'm like, what is going on? I just want to wash my hands after touching the machine. But anyway.
So, you played diverse roles across different genres. I want to know, how do you prepare mentally and emotionally for the variety of characters?
I'm a method actor, so I just, if I'm playing somebody like a psychopathic killer or a hitman, I just tend to get dark for maybe 24 hours before I play the character. And what I do is I turn the character up to full temperature, like on a stove. Or I find the character and then I turn it back down to simmer. So the character is just gently bubbling away in my brain. I'm a really nice guy. Maybe people that are nice guys don't say that out loud. But anyway, I'm just a normal guy, but when I'm on simmer, all I want to do is a rom-com, a romantic comedy, but I just end up killing people or getting killed myself, you know? But hey.
Well, it has a certain romance to itself, depending on the view.
Yeah, I mean, I love the artistic violence and the gore, so I like doing horror movies and stuff like that, so, because it's all fun. I mean, who doesn't want to get covered in a bucket of blood that tastes like sugar? You know?
But you give me a great segue there. What was the most challenging role you have taken so far? Like where you really had to go deep? Did you maybe perhaps learn something about yourself while simmering?
The thing about myself as an actor is I give 110%. So I do all my own stunts and stuff like that. So I'm not intimidated by anything. But if there's not a stunt man on the floor and it's just a solid concrete floor or a solid wooden floor and I have to fly in the air and land on my back, I will. And I'll do that 50 times and then complain about it afterwards to myself. So it's like, I break bones and like rip ligaments from my legs and stuff. I just crack on because the most important thing is the story. It's not me, so when I'm in the moment, I don't really feel the pain that I feel afterwards. And then after I've done like a grueling day, because some of the fight scenes can last day, and you would have rehearsed them for like 6 weeks of 2 hours at a time. So it's a lot of work to get your body and mind ready for what could be a really brutal scene. And then I just moan about it afterwards when I'm getting into that ice bath, you know, but I've done it. So I haven't really found anything yet that's out of my comfort level or hard or grueling. No, I jump into every role that I do with gusto. I love my job, and I wouldn't ever want to drop the ball. Is that a saying you have here? You wouldn't want to ever look like the weakest link in a movie. I always want to bring what I can and not take anyone out at the moment. So yeah, I end up picking up injuries and stuff like that because it's like they're like, oh, can you throw yourself off that? Yeah, I'll do that. Yeah.
So the preparation for a big fight scene, a big fighting day is rehearsal, and training.
Yes, until it's in your muscle memory, so you can do it without even thinking. But then even sometimes on the day, everyone makes mistakes, you know, but I can proudly say that I've never injured anyone in any of the fight scenes and any of the brutal movies I've done, but I've picked up a lot of injuries myself.
But what would you say is the rehearsal? Since you mentioned you're a nice person,
yeah.
What is the rehearsal to dive into the mind of a psychopathic killer? How do you rehearse that?
We don't. When we rehearse, we turn all of the negative energy into a dance. So you remember where you should be, and you remember what you should be doing. So when you're rehearsing, you're dancing, and you could be dancing with a gun in your hand, a sword, an axe, or anything like that. But if you remember it like a dance move, or feel like you're dancing, so in rehearsals, and it's very important, obviously, not injury each other in rehearsals. So we start off at a quarter speed, so it's very slow, and then we go to half speed, and then we go to full speed after a couple of weeks, or sometimes only a couple of hours. It depends on what time and and what money the production has, So yeah.
Another great segment, because you work with the biggest budgets of them all. The MCU. You've been in Thor and Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah.
But also were in TV shows like Doctor Who and Vikings. What were the most notable differences between working in the MCU and productions like this?
Doc Martin and Doctor Who, I did in Cardiff. Yeah, I did 3. Is there any Whovians in here? I did 3 episodes. I did 1 with Matt Smith, Nightmare in Silver. I played Big Red when they reintroduced the Cybermen and they were really fast. I'm the only man on the planet that's attempted to fight a Cyberman with one of these chairs. Didn't work. So I think with Doctor Who, it's like a family environment, because even though it's existed for decades, since before we were all born, it still has that homely, friendly family environment, and it's small and intimate. And when you get on a big show like Thor or Guardians, I'm a Marvel fan for life, by the way, represent. But I've also done a DC movie, but I don't really talk about it because I feel bad. But I did Justice League, but I don't even know if I made the cut, so I refuse to watch it.
That's bad.
Sorry, DC fans.
But Thor wasn't your first encounter with Chris Hemsworth. One of the earliest credits on IMDb is Snow White and the Huntsman.
Yeah, I did. I played a huntsman in Snow White and the Huntsman, and then a woodsman. So I was one of in the scene that I was in. I was one of his friends, and I didn't even know who Chris Hemsworth was then. So I thought he was a stuntman because he was getting thrown for a wall. So they said, "Oh, Jules, Chris is going to get thrown for a wall," and I was like, "Okay, cool." And it's a real wall that he could only get frozen once because it would have taken like 3 or 4 hours to rebuild it. And I kind of wanted to say, coming from a stunt background, like, you know, so I wanted to talk to him as another stuntman, but I could see he was in the zone, so I didn't say anything. And the only thing I was thinking is get your hands up over your eyes, because it had straw and spike bits in the wall. So I was there just thinking he was a stuntman. So we did the stunt. I'm walking around, he's getting the crap kicked out of him, and I'm the one that's walking behind all the people that are getting kicked over. And I've got a big stein of you know, beer. And stupidly that day, because the camera was right on me as I walk out of the pub that he's just been thrown through the wall, I picked up a loaf of bread off the side because I wanted to have a facial expression. And I thought it would be funny if I walk out with a pint, my axe tucked in my belt, and just this huge chunk of bread. So I just had my mouth just full as you could, but you know, eating his bread and laughing at the same time. I didn't realise that scene would take 10 hours. So I was 10 hours of eating bread, and I think I was brewing beer in my own stomach. And then, and I was like, that was when I learned a lesson: never eat on camera. Like, you know, unless you're told to. Don't volunteer that, because it was quite uncomfortable. And in the end, like, an assistant was coming up, and I was spitting bread into his hand. And then, at the end of the day, this is how much bread I ate. I've never told this story, by the way. When you looked behind the door in the pub, the floor was just a mound of half-chewed bread. Like, and I just looked, I was like, oh my god. So yeah, I don't eat on camera unless I'm specifically told to now, ever. So yeah, I met him there, and I thought he was a stuntman. I was like, this guy's good, you know. And then I realised he wasn't. He was Chris Hemsworth, and I was like, who's he? And then, so I did Snow White and the Huntsman 2 with him as one of the huntsmen, so I got to wear the same outfit as him, which was very sexy. It was lots of leather, and yeah, I enjoyed that. It was fun. And I keep forgetting, what films I've been in with him. So there was, I did Rush with him. I played a guy from Led Zeppelin. So Rush was a Formula One cars back in the day. So I played one of his friends. Actually on the track, like, which is weird. They get in front of the track so the race can start. And I did, I think it was Moby Dick. I don't know, not the porn version. And then Thor 2. I think that's 5. So yeah, and counting, obviously. So
obviously, and you're going to stick around.
Yeah, man.
Every time Chris gets a new movie, you'll be like, Julian, what are you doing?
I wish he was that easy. He's not. But it just it happened that I did. So I worked on the first few movies I was on, where I started elevating. I worked with Brad Pitt, Daniel Craig on Skyfall, and then Chris Hemsworth 5 times. It was like, oh, you again.
You talk a lot about you giving 110%, getting yourself right in the action.
Yeah.
Was there a moment where something unexpected happened, where you had to adapt quickly in scene?
Yeah, there's a horror movie called Scopia Effect, and so it's a story about a woman that is murdered and then reincarnated, and then on a cycle. It's horrible. So I play one of the people that are possessed and murder her. So there's a scene where so she's not reincarnated as the same person each time. So the version of her that I murdered was my own brother. So there's a scene in a medieval barn, because it's like based in the 1500s, and where I get possessed. And then when I was possessed, they made a noise that I had to make, which was like, so that was the sound, and they were going to ADR it, but they liked that sound I just made. They liked it, so they used it in the film. So when I'm drowning my own brother in a horse trough, and they had a camera in the horse trough facing his face, which is really horrible. Like I was all about his safety, because he's obviously fighting. And I said, tap me 3 times on the leg if you are actually drowning. You know, because I didn't really want to be responsible for that, because I didn't think that would be good for my career. So yeah, and I said to the director, what do you want me to do when I'm holding him under and he's taking his last breath. So, and he said, oh, it would be really great if you could make that sound. So I did for the whole scene, make that sound, but then I forgot to breathe, because it's very difficult to breathe when you're making that sound, because it's an exhalation. So just as I drowned him, my eyes rolled back in my head, and I just literally fell backwards. And then I woke up on the floor, fortunately in a bunch of straw and hay, in this medieval barn, and my brain was just full of butterflies. And I was laying there looking at the ceiling of the barn going, where am I? I feel amazing. And then I realized I was making a movie, and I said, hey, sorry everyone, I think I just fainted. so yeah, I literally fainted, I was completely unconscious.
What an awesome story. I got a bunch of more questions which I will leave for tomorrow, because there are people here who probably have their own fan questions.
Yeah, let's go to
Let's give it to. There's a microphone in the middle, just please stand up, walk up to the microphone and ask your questions to Julian.
Please
don't be shy, he's a nice guy. You're not murdering anyone today, are you? You're not murdering anybody today, are you?
Not what?
Murdering anybody today.
The day's not over yet.
Please don't let it be me, I have a baby boy.
Okay, we'll let you off. You're excluded.
Alright, just, here's the mic, feel free. Just make sure it's pointed at your mouth. Like this. Alright.
Oh, please, I don't speak German. So.
No problem. So, my question would be is that if you could meet your 10-year-old self and give him one simple advice, what would it be that would maybe change your life?
Did you read my cue cards?
I have just been reading questions for the last year.
Not change a thing, otherwise I wouldn't be here today.
So also no advice like do something better than school or something?
No, just literally, you know, every single decision that you make in life, all of you leads to this point today. So if you change something, you're going to create a butterfly effect. And I might not be sitting here, I might not be with a beautiful woman that travels the world with me, I might not be having so much fun. And even though my life has been extremely tough at times, I wouldn't change a thing. So the advice would be, follow your instinct.
Alright, thank you.
Thank you. Good question. Come on, someone.
I have a non-movie related question.
Okay.
For the HairyFoodyGuy.
Yep.
Does pineapple belong on pizza?
Yes.
I love it.
With jalapenos.
What? Pineapple?
Yes, try it. It'll change your life.
It will probably change my toilet routine.
It's just like you need salt, you need spice, and I also put chorizo on as well. So you have ham, chorizo, pineapple, and jalapenos. So you have the salty sweet spice and dip it in custard.
Have you heard of the swine apple?
The swine apple is a pork.
It's a pineapple filled with pork and then mantled with bacon. And
Okay.
then just roasted.
No, we need to do this. Note to self.
Note to self, make the swine apple. Come on, people. Any Vikings related questions? Because we have a real life Viking here.
Yeah, and
A sword and axe fighter.
I am genetically, even though I'm English, I'm proof of the Viking invasion.
That is not a Viking-related question.
Oh, sorry,
Again,
a bit louder, please.
sorry, not a Viking-related question. It's again food. What was the food you were most excited for when coming to Austria or Vienna?
Me, for being most excited to come here? Oh, should I be truthful? I was most excited because my partner Caroline down there who's filming is a big fan of Clint, and she really wanted to see the kiss, and I was really happy to bring her along and like, you know, be part of her dream that she wanted to see the kiss. So, and I, by proxy, really enjoyed that moment. It was absolutely beautiful to go to Belvedere Palace and stuff like that. Oh, and food. I travel on my belly.
We are famous for our beer, you know.
Yeah, no, I know. We've got. I know I shouldn't say this, but 6 weeks ago we went curious, not bi-curious, sober curious. So we've been exploring not drinking. But you have an amazing beer here from Radler, which has lime, lemon. You probably know. We don't know. It's new to us. Lime, lemon, grapefruit, and something else in it. No, I think that was it. Do you know what? It tastes so good I don't actually need a beer, which is, sorry everyone, that's a bad thing. But I've had many years of drinking, so I'm just chilling, and I've had a couple of glasses of wine, and wine is good here. So since stopping drinking beer, I'm now drinking beer that I would feed my children, and I'm not ashamed. But yeah, it's been good.
And you mentioned to me, maybe this might interest you, it's not in my Q&A, you are a trained sword and axe fighter.
Yes,
You
yeah.
are a former reenactor. You love that kind of shit.
Yeah, I grew up on it, so from the age of 13, so it was kind of a natural progression for me. So I was taught to use, I was fascinated in history, and I still am, and the brutality of war in those times. So I wanted to learn how to use all of the weapons. So yeah, I fought. I didn't want to be an actor. I wanted to fight. So we fought in tournaments for points, so we were really fighting. I didn't do the reenactment shows. I went to learn how to fight, but that was all I was interested in, the actual competitive sport of fighting with a medieval weapon. And then that stood me in good stead, because that got me in stunt teams for Marvel and stuff like that, you know, so, and doing my own fight scenes on movies, you know, I can do it all, so it's good. Does anyone remember our old TV show, Merlin? Did that travel? Yeah. So I was on the fight team for Merlin, and I was really stoked because Dave, the stunt coordinator, was one of the original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. So I was like, oh god, this is amazing. I'm on the stunt team with a turtle, and I'm fighting. I fought every single main character in there, but I always had a helmet on. So like, whenever if you ever rewatch Merlin, it's me. You know, like yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Back then, when you went in those arena fights, like for points, what was your favorite gear?
Haha! I love that question, because my favorite gear is very unusual. So my favorite gear is a small sword, like a short sword. It's only this big, so it's not much bigger than a dagger. But I like the punch shield.
In German, it's a Fallschirm.
Huh?
It's called Fallschirm.
Yeah,
Usually
the
wear it
Fallschirm.
on the back.
Yeah. So that was my weapon of choice, because you could get in, and I was quick in those days. I don't think I'm so quick now. But then a punch shield, which when you put your fist inside the shield, so the shield is here on your wrist, and your fist has a massive spike on the end. So you could actually block a sword with it if you were quick, but the shield is only this big. So that was my favourite setup, because you were fast, you could fight spear against it, great sword, and just get in and be like boom, 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 and they're gone. So that was it. And there was a lot of people that were like, what are you using? So nobody I knew fought with that particular getup. That's a really interesting
You were
question.
fast and fierce, like always getting
Yeah,
close
yeah,
up,
yeah, and I wasn't-
ducking away.
Yeah, running into people rather than trying to stand back, you know. So yeah, my fighting style was more like the two women on the Jake Paul Mike Tyson fight. It wasn't the Jake Paul Mike Tyson fight. If anyone watched that, no, just me. Okay.
Right. Anyone else, any questions? Because we're about to start with our next panel.
But yeah, hi.
Hey.
So you voiced Ava on Assassin's Creed.
Come closer, please.
You voiced Ava on Assassin's Creed.
No, I didn't. I'm the body.
The body mask. Okay.
Face the body. No, I didn't voice him. That was I've forgotten his name now. Normally I would know. But, so yeah, I'm just
Anyways.
the body.
What was your favorite part working with that?
With that, my favourite part was getting paid. Because all they did is they put me in this new technology at the time where they 3D scanned me, so I had to stand with my arms like this in a circle like Stargate, and then they spun the cameras around me and said, right, you're done. I'm like, oh. And then they took me behind and showed me on a computer me fighting, doing some, I can't do somersaults, doing somersaults and stuff like that, so it was really easy. I've done motion capture, which is not easy. You're basically acting in a green suit with loads of bottles all over you. On this one, they just literally scanned my face and did whatever they wanted to me. So it was it was easy. It was 5 minutes work for me. So I have just finished, if there's gamers in the room, I have just finished a very big game that I'm not allowed to talk about, but it's being released on December the 5th, and if you're a really big gamer and a really big fan, it's some DLC content, and I've voiced 2 of the characters, and I'm very excited about that, and I can't wait to tell everyone about that, and I can't wait to have the photographs of the characters I play, because they are badass.
All right, let's give a big round of applause for Julian Seager! That was fun!
Thanks everyone, that was good.